Hello, strangelings. Welcome back to the parlor. So today, I wanted to talk about skin tone. Yes, I know. I've talked about white people already and all that, and people who know me and people who don't, who've seen my videos, probably know all about how I feel about white people, including those who think I'm just a self-hating white person. But I'm not. First off, I am a human mutt. Proudly, thank you. But I wanted to talk about today one of the reasons why it does upset me so much that people who consider themselves white people feel like they have the right to behave however they want, or take as much as they like and leave whatever for the rest, and things like that. The reason why they feel so damn superior. And that is because of the light skin issue. The light skin issue is this issue that happens in many places around the world, especially places where people tend to cultivate a darker tone in their skin. You see, we all have the same skin. Our skin tone is simply based on, one, the melanin that our skin is essentially told to produce for us as we grow once we are born. So basically a pre-programmed melanin tone level, if you will. And then our body's reaction to the sun after that pre-programmed level. I personally have nearly, I would, oh boy, sorry guys, don't bless me, I need my demons where they're at. Anyway, I would surmise I probably have next to no melanin in my skin compared to most people. I especially have no melanin in my skin compared to a very dark person. It's just a fact of life. And how our melanin distributes within the skin and the tone it gives us also is kind of a genetic component. And only a little bit of that has to do with where we came from. It's more along the lines of where our ancient ancestors and the way they melded together as families, really. So of course, I always found the issue that many communities that have people of darker tones tend to seem to have, which is the lighter the skin, the better the people seem to be treated. As a pale-skinned person myself, one would tend to think that I wouldn't have too much problem with being treated well just because I have pale skin. First of all, I'm not treated well necessarily. One, I am female and I get that treatment. And two, on top of being female, I was raised in abject poverty and I haven't gotten much higher than poverty at this point. So, of course, I am treated a bit more like I must be less money savvy and so on and so forth. You will find in places that people would expect me to frequent, there'll be things like tricks and trades on how to make your money grow for you. Despite the fact that I grew up with a great aunt who played the stock market so well she could have owned 2 major banks in her heyday. And so I know how to run the stock market, I just don't have money to put into it. Especially when you consider back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there were a lot of stockbroker companies who wouldn't let people put money into stocks unless they had at least $1,500 to $15,000, depending on the company, to start. How am I supposed to come up with $15,000? Come on, man. It literally took until my children were all post-pubescent before we got to a point where we were getting just over 10,000 back in taxes, just a hair over 10,000 back in taxes, and that only happened once. And that's only because I'm really good with the way I do my taxes. We always get money back because we always overpay our taxes during the year. Sure, it shorts us a little bit during the year, but God, that boon at the end of the fiscal year is so beautiful. Especially in a world where I have no choice but to conduct myself with money, whether I like it or not. And if there's a curiosity, I lean definitely towards not. I would rather have the gypsy economy that I really... my people have this beautiful gypsy economy, and I'd love to go back to it. We'll just say it like that. So, of course, for some reason, it developed that in most of these places, lighter skin meant better. Anything you can think of as better, that person was it. But for a long time, a lot of people thought it was just because Caucasians had tried to take over the world so many times. That's not actually it at all. You see, the sun is what makes us a darker shade. And if you are somebody who has to work a lot, you're going to have to be in the sun a lot. So, of course, you're going to be a darker shade. However, if you are nobility and you therefore have other people do your stuff for you, you can spend your entire life in your home, or in the case of royalty, in your castle, to the point where some of these castles would have outdoor areas inside the castle so that people could get at least a little bit of sun. But normally it was still a little uncouth to go out in direct sunlight. Then they would also make things like tennis courts. They didn't play tennis back in the Renaissance and stuff like that, but they played something similar. And they had these courts constructed inside the castle. They had all of these spaces that would normally be outside spaces that they would build inside these buildings. Not to mention the fact that manor houses to this day still has these types of rooms. I'm sure if we went over to I don't think Hollywood is the biggest place that they have a lot of mansions for people these days, modern mansions. But if you went into a neighborhood with a ton of modern 80-some room mansions, you're going to find that there's going to be rooms to conduct activities and recreation that is traditionally considered outside recreation. Now, of course, this is not to keep away from the mass public who is irritating or whatever. No. This is because for the rich, seeing the sun can be part of the egregious part. The reason why pale is so much better in places like Japan and India and for a little while some of the African countries is because pale means you don't see the sun. Pale means you have other people do your work for you. Pale means you were born to money. Literally the only reason why pale ever became the cool, the beautiful, the elite norm is to prove how little work you actually do in your life. To prove how little actual living you do. Such a strange badge of honor the rich have. And that is something that persists to this day. It is, in fact, one of the reasons why I have such a problem against the whole idea of, the way white people seem to think that they have the knowledge and power to control the world. The people who experience the world the least act like they have the best pulse on it, and therefore should be able to control it. And if that didn't sound twisted enough for you, let me help you understand it this way. It means the people who understood the world the least had the most control over whether we went to war over issues of state. And it's still going on to this day. I don't really have an issue with people because they have a pale skin tone. But I definitely have an issue with people who think their pale skin tone creates a superiority that they haven't naturally earned. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I got some clothes to wash today. Probably got to figure out what to start for dinner and all that good stuff. I'm going to get out of here. But remember, guys, it doesn't matter who you are. I love you. Take care of each other. And I'll see you guys in the next video.